Oh man, Napalm Man's attacking the jungle? We better go and help out. I hear it's a real napalm tree panic down there. So, Napalm Man stage. Again, I'm going to say, not my favorite song. It's thoroughly okay, and not really much better. Aesthetically, though, I really love this stage. We've also got this first bit, which is just blowing up tigers. I think that's illegal. I mean, they're just normal tigers, so not quite as bad as, you know, destroying a white tiger. If we were destroying a robot white tiger, hoo boy, be another matter entirely. And yeah, it's actually easier to destroy them with a charged buster than it is the only weapon I have at the moment, which is Power Stone. You can also probably see why I don't really like Power Stone that much. It's, not great. I don't like that it's just a spinning trajectory move. Basically, it starts close to you, and as it spins, it goes farther and farther out. It is weird to hit enemies with it. Wouldn't recommend, not very fun to use. Now, thankfully though, it is actually kind of useful in this stage. Mega Man 5 kind of has a problem of just extremely situational, extra weapons, but, you know, they might be situational, but that still means there's some situation for you to use them, like here. Makes this section a little easier. Will not make the helicopters easier though. These guys are kinda hard to kill without a charge shot. And typically in their sections, I find that it's kinda hard to build a charge, if only because they start moving on you very quickly. But anyway, yeah, I mentioned aesthetically I really like this stage, mainly because I just appreciate that sort of starting you off in the jungle, and then we go to some underground caverns, and now we're back in the jungle, but it's got more of a base look to it. Grab this N. What is the letter we got last time? G. G. We've got G spelled out. But yeah, now we're in a base proper, and they're firing missiles at us. Now, one might think that this is reminiscent of Vietnam, but I don't know, I think that's just a coincidence. I mean, sure, there are caverns that lead to a hidden base. However, Mega Man fights for everlasting peace, so I can't imagine he'd be a fill-in for the US Army in that case. Everlasting peace does not fit that criteria. But yeah, there's not too much to the level in terms of, like, gimmicks. We've got this section, the thing that leaps out of the pit kind of enemy. It's that gimmick, but no big deal. We've seen it before. It's pretty easy to deal with once you know it's there. It's just the first time it comes up, it'll probably kill you through surprise. Anyway, Napalm Man would be a tough boss if he did that initial missile volley he did at the start there a little more often. Instead, he stuck to this attack, which is pretty easy to dodge on its own. This is kind of the problem with the Mega Man 5 bosses, is I actually really like the potential they have, because honestly, dodging Napalm Man's attacks actually feels really good, but like, I kinda got lucky and he ended up with this dumb pattern that doesn't benefit him at all. It definitely would have felt a little better if he mixed it up more often, and thus I needed to be a little more smart with my dodging, but otherwise, I kinda like this boss more than a lot of the bosses of Mega Man 4. Mega Man 5's sort of in that weird spot of like, I did want them to, you know, make less excruciating bosses, you know? Like, bosses having patterns is good, bosses having simple patterns isn't great. It could be improved. If you just mix it up, that'd keep me on my toes a little more often, and then, hey, maybe he would have survived. And maybe his survival would have helped me think of a napalm pun, but I got nothing, sorry.